Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Ages Kingdom. In this class, I would like to continue the topic from anatomy, physiology, reproductive system. Already I have discussed about uterus, fallopian tube, cervix, and even the ovaries and menstrual cycle. In this class, I would like to take topic of fertilization. So when you see the image and just listen my words, you can able to understand the topic and can write in depth also. It is a repeatedly asked question for B.SC nursing first years and GNM first years also. What is fertilization? What is fertilization? When you say fertilization, the structure when you see the sperm, and this is called ovum, and when there is a fusion of the sperm and the egg and into form a single diploid cell as a zygote, it is called fertilization. We can say it as a fusion of the sperm and the ovum is called it as a fertilization. So when you speak on these things, there are a lot of things you need to understand. So it's a fertilization is the fusion of nuclei of a sperm and an egg to form a new life, or we can say it as a it is usually occurs after sexual intercourse. So this is a one word, but usually it is not only after sexual intercourse. In case if you want to go for any artificial methods of fertilization, then you need to use so many other methods also. So when you speak fertilization, the diagram is showing like this. I think you can understand. When I speak about fallopian tubes, when the fimbriae or ending structures of the fallopian tube captures a matured ovum and reaches the ampulla of the fallopian tube. The curve-like structure, we call it as the ampulla of the fallopian tube. So here it reaches, and in this time when ovulation or when egg is ready or when ovum is ready, then if the sexual intercourse happened, then the sperm starts migrating from the vagina to the cervix to the uterus to the fallopian tube. Slowly it will travel to the fallopian tube of the ampulla, and there this sperm penetrates into the ovum and forms one cell with the mitotic division. So that is called it as a fertilization. So when both these two are fused together, then we call it as a fertilization. And then afterwards the two cells, means sperm and the ovum, the two cells becomes like a 4 become 8 become like 16. So like that the mitotic cell division will takes place, and it is approximately 24 hours after the conception. Conception is called when the both ovum and the sperm fertilize together. So after conception of 24 hours, only the cleavage or the divisions will occur. After 3 to 4 days, the embryo contains approximately 16 cells. The stages call it as a morula. So the stages call it as a morula. So here I am saying first fertilization will occur, that is called it as a conception, and after that the cleavage, the cell division will takes place after 24 hours, and the cell stage 2 become 4, 4 become 8, 8 become 16, and the 16 cell stage is called it as a morula, and it requires minimum 3 to 4 days. And unequal cell division after this cause a fluid filled cavity to form, and embryo reaches the uterus. That means these two fused together and got married and started traveling to the parent house. Let's call it as a uterus. It started traveling to the uterus. Then it takes approximately 7 days to reach to the uterus. So embryo reaches the uterus approximately 7 days after fertilization, and it contains approximately 100 cells. It comes like 100 cells. The stage is called it as a blastocyst. The stage is called it as a blastocyst. And so far we are just speaking about only fertilization. Only fertilization. The fusion of the ovum and the sperm is called fertilization, and it takes place in the ampulla of the fallopian tube. And then after that, the two cell stage with the mitotic division, it will become 4, 4 become 8, and by 16 stage, that is called morula. Then after 6 days it is like a blastocyst, and then when it reaches to the uterus, it will be approximately 100 cells will be there. So here when you are seeing fallopian tubes, so the sperm starts entering into the trying to enter to the ovum, and then it will become like a two cell stage, let's call it as a zygote, and then 4 cell stage, then 8 cell stage, and in 72 hours morula stage will occur. That in 72 hours morula cells is occurring, and in 60 days it will be approximately 16 sorry, it will be approximately 100 cells can be seen. So that is all about. So secondary oocyte completes a meiosis only if fertilized and produces second polar body, and swollen sperm and a nuclei called as a pronucleo, and pronucleo ruptures that cytoplasmic membrane enters, and chromosomes of two gametes mix together, and fertilized egg is now called as a zygote. The fertilized egg is called as a zygote. So in this I have used so many terminologies which are important for first 1 mark and 2 marks also. Ovulation, release of the ovum, or the formation, the complete formation and releasing of the ovum. Then fertilization, fusion of the ovum and the sperm together is called it as a fertilization. Then zygote, the two cell stage of that ovum and the sperm is called it as a zygote, and the 16 cell stage is called it as a morula. Then blastocyst is called it as a, the mature, the 100 cells which reaches to the uterus is called it as a blastocyst. Okay, so like this the fertilization is completely taking place, and here this is the diagram you can draw very clearly. So here embryo captures the ovum and it keeps in the ampulla of the fallopian tube, and to this area the millions of sperms will be deposited in the vagina, and only mature and healthy sperms reaches to the uterus, and from that who is dominating, only that sperm can reach to the fallopian tubes, and only one can reaches to the matured ovum, and that matured sperm and a matured ovum both will be fused together to form as a zygote, and that stage is called it as a fertilization, and that zygote stage turn into two cells and the four cells and the morula, then blastocyst. So these all stages will occur in the fallopian tube only, and this blastocyst implants in uterine wall in the day 17. So till this fallopian tube 6 days it is traveling after conception, then slowly it reaches to the uterine wall and attached to the uterine wall in the day 7th. In the day 7th, that's a very important point. So here this is all about fertilization. Next we will see implantation. Okay, implantation, this is the common word we are using even in during I can say in when you are cultivating in the land. Already fertile land is there, 10 acres 20 acres land is there. When you are putting one seed on that fertile land, the plant starts growing, so that seed when you are putting in the fertile land, that's called it as a implantation. That means the seed should have a good roots and good strength, and the soil should be very good, then only it starts growing. Here the zygote stage is turned into a blastocyst, and the blastocyst should attach to the uterine wall, that is called endometrial layer, innermost layer. It should attach, then only then that blastocyst starts growing, and it gives penetration into the endometrial layer and myometrial layer, and from there the blood circulation starts developing, and the placenta will develop from primary circulation, secondary circulation, and tertiary circulation. Then the baby starts growing. The primary, secondary, or tertiary blood circulation and development of the placenta, this is all called root development of a plant. The same thing is happening even in the human body also. When the zygote starts implanting in the endometrium should be a fertile land. It should be a fertile land. Endometrium should be thick and healthy. Then only the zygote, the fertilized egg, will come and implant here. Implant here, attachment to that. Then that's called implantation. Implantation occurs in the endometrium of the anterior or posterior wall of the body near the fundus on the sixth day, which corresponds to the 20th day of regular menstrual cycle. So I told you now, after fertilization it travels in the fallopian tube itself 6 days. Then it reaches to the endometrium by seventh day and it starts at attaching. And implantation occurs through four stages. That is, first one is apposition, and second one adhesion, third one is penetration, and fourth one is invasion. That means first one is apposition, it starts slowly traveling, and adhesion, it is attached like this. But if just attaching means these zygote or the blastocyst will not get enough blood supply or enough nutrients for the growth of the tree or growth of the baby. So what it has to be, it should penetrate. The circulation will be penetrated from the endometrial layer to the myometrial layer. Then it is invaded. It is invaded, and endometrium and the baby will be attached tightly to develop a good circulation, because the development of that circulation only is the main source for the baby growth of the baby. So next we'll see, let's call it as an implantation. So implantation process is completed by 10th to 11th day. The implantation process is completed by 10th to 11th day, and this type of deeper penetration of human blastocyst is called as a implantation. And now the blastocyst is covered all sides of the endometrium, and it's nothing but we call it as a decidua. Normal endometrium only, just blindly remember, normal endometrium during pregnancy stage, when after fertilization occurs, because of that hormonal strength, the endometrium starts forming a still more thick and firmly, it is developed, and it is ready for the receiving of the baby. So that's call it as a decidua. Let's call it as a decidua. So this is all about fertilization and implantation, and this is our two questions are very important, and you can write according to my content and just look at standard textbooks for the some more information. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.